What's up, YouTube? Adam Grover coming back at you with another video. Well, I got an update on this cheap suspension stuff for the S197 platform. I'm going to show you guys an issue that I ran into. I'm going to start off by saying always check your parts, make sure stuff goes together, that it's compatible. You know, play around with it, take bolts, make sure they fit through the holes that they're supposed to fit through, all that good stuff. I'm glad I did this before ripping the car apart, thinking that everything was just going to work. So, as you guys know, I bought the cheap upper control arm off of eBay, and I got the nice BMR bracket that's three-way adjustable. Comes with a nice size. It's actually an 18 millimeter bolt. And show you guys real quick. Bear with me. Comes with this nice thick 18 millimeter bolt. Alright. So, what the upper control arm doesn't come with is a bushing that allows that 18 millimeter bolt. Now this is drilled out. As you can see, I didn't finish drilling it. And this is stainless steel, so it's hard to drill. I bought a drill bit just to drill this out. Now, I'm going to save you guys the trouble and tell you guys what to buy, so that way you don't have to spend money the way I spent money. However, drilling this, when I did it, it melted the nylon because it got so hot. This has nylon in it in here for a bushing. And you can see it's got some wobble to it now. So this is no good. So I had to find an eyelet. I call these eyelets. I had to find an eyelet that would work. So I went on Summit Racing, and I found the eyelet I needed and the thread pitch I needed. I actually went to my buddy Matt's shop, and he gave me the thread pitch because I wasn't sure what thread pitch this was. So he looked at the old one, and we figured out the thread pitch. It's 18 millimeter by, I want to say, 1.5. Don't hold me to that. However, as you can see, there's no ears for this. And I don't think this one has nylon in it. So this might be a better design. This is the... Could be wrong, but... This was, I want to say like 30 bucks for this eyelet. Or heim joint would be the proper word. It's like 30 bucks. So you're still into an upper control arm cheaper than if you were to buy a name brand one, unless you find a name brand one used, which I just found one for $75 UPR. So that kind of sucks, because now I have like $80 almost into this. The cheapest upper control arm I think I found was like 150 bucks. So even with buying this heim, the control arm itself, and the bushings I bought, I'm still into it cheaper, all new parts, than if I were buying a name brand one. So, to me, it's still worth it. However, learning experience for sure, figuring all this stuff out. This stuff can beat your brains out, but now I know. That's why I'm spreading the knowledge. Second thing is, you gotta buy bushings. You don't need the ears, so to speak. These are ugly. Warning you guys now. They sent me the wrong ones, and I had to drill these ones. And putting them in the vise and stuff, you know, they got tore up. They're gonna work, but they're just ugly. But I had to drill them out. You can see they got grooves and stuff in them. Still going to be strong, be fine. They work. They slide on. They're going to do what they need to do. They're on the tight side, which I'd rather have them too tight. That way everything's nice and snug back there. As long as the stuff moves, which it will. You know, the tighter the stuff can be, as long as it can move, the better. So, I'll show you guys how this setup is going to basically all go together. I'm going to put it in the bracket for you too, but so you guys get an idea. You got plenty of room. You know, this thing shouldn't be moving that much side to side at all. Realistically, it's just going to go like that. This part, not these. So, which I'm holding this moves. So it'll move freely, it won't be a problem. This stuff should be tight, and the heim joint will do what it's supposed to do, what it's made to do. So, in the bracket, this goes in the car, and then you have your 3-way adjustable mounting points. Pretty neat making stuff work together that's not supposed to. Pain, but it'll be different than what everybody else has, because nobody else really, I guess, tries to save money this way. They just buy the stuff and it is what it is, but I try to get the best bang for my buck whenever I do this stuff. Alright, there she is. Alright, so it's all together. That's how it's going to go in the car. Imagine probably this way. I'm gonna imagine something like that, unless I got it backwards. Might go this way. I don't know. I haven't even looked under the car to see which way it goes. I just know that this bolt goes underneath the back seat. So that's pretty much it though. So you can get this stuff. Those bushings I think were like $20. So all in all, 50, 70, 90. I got about $100 into this thing. Plus my time. If they would have sent me the right bushings, I wouldn't really have much time into it. But they didn't. They sent me the wrong ones. So if you get the right bushings, this thing could go together, no problem. And you have about $100 into it. It saves you roughly 40 to, depending which one you would get, $40 to $100. So that's, $40. It's gas in the tank or food, a meal, something, or another part for the car somewhere along the line. So I try to, when I shop, if I'm buying something, and especially if I don't necessarily have the money, like I shouldn't be spending the money, but I'm going to. I'll shop down to pennies. Car behind me, right there, that Monty, that's got a cam that was like $89.88. That's shoved in that engine that I found. I found the cheapest camshaft basically in that, for that level of cam. I just kept shopping on eBay, and you find an ad, you scroll down, and it gives you similar items, and as long as the specs are the same and all that, sometimes the price is a little cheaper because there are different stores that sell them, and some people aren't as greedy with what they make. Sometimes it might even be the same store, just a different ad. But you can get the stuff sometimes a couple dollars cheaper, and I just keep shopping until I find the absolute cheapest one. And that's what I did with this stuff. They sell this in a whole kit. You can buy I think the lowers, the upper, and the the heck is that thing called? can't think of the name, but the bar that runs side to side. It'll come to me. But you can get that whole kit for like, I forget what it was, $150 or something like that. I think, or $250. I can't remember now. But the way I did it saved me a couple dollars. It was like $3 or $4 cheaper, parting it, piecing it together. And either way, I still would have had to do this. So, just because of the bracketry I'm using here with this. Now, if I was using the stock bracket, this might have just went right together. But I'm not. I'm using an adjustable bracket with an upgraded bolt. So, that's why I needed to do this. So, if you guys watched my last video on this budget suspension stuff, and you're finding the pieces the same way I did, secondhand, or even if you're going to buy them new, because it's still cheaper to piece the stuff together this way, you know, this is what you're going to have to do for that upper control arm to make it work. So, I've noticed that some of these control arms are braced in here a little bit. They have like a plate, and then it has like a little top. I want to see how this one works the way it is, but I thought about adding that in because it wouldn't be too hard to make. So it's the only other thing that the other parts have that are a little bit, they're this is cheap. It's cheap for a reason. It can do the same job though, so that's why I have it. If it needs that brace, if I see that ears are bending or it doesn't feel right or the car isn't working quite right, and I think that's the reason, then I'll add that brace in. I'll weld it, and at that point, whatever I have into it, I have into it. Realistically, even if you had to weld that up and everything, as long as you can weld, it still would, it'd probably almost equal out to buying the correct one, because that UPR one new is roughly, I think it's $190. I'm at 100 here, buying some plate, and then my time welding it and bending it and cutting it, cut off wheels, you add all that stuff up. Let's just say you spend $50 doing that. You know, you got $150 into it, you still save $30, $40 minus your time. But, you know, it all depends on how you want to look at it. Me, I save on the wallet mostly, so that way my money takes me further, because sometimes I have time. You know, as long as I have the time to do something, I don't mind doing it. And then there's some stuff where it's like it isn't even worth my time doing that for the money difference. Like if it's $20, $30, I might not do it. I might just buy the part that I want if it's going to be time consuming. If it's going to take me a day to make something and I can buy it for another $20, $30, then there's no point. And to me, it's not worth it. It's not justifiable. And that's the line you got to find. Is it justifiable? For you, it might be. For me, it might not be. Vice versa. So, anyway, that's what we got here. Now you guys know, and hopefully I save you guys a little bit of heartache, or save you a headache or something, because it was a headache for me. Those bushings I waited about a week and a half for. That sucked, but it is what it is, and now it can go in the car. So there it is, guys. That's it. If you guys are doing this, or if anybody's looked into this, or looked at my past video and started buying stuff, leave a comment and let me know. And if you guys need any help, or any other questions or anything, you can leave a comment. I get messages on Facebook once in a while, but always here to try to help. That's what I try to do. So that's the whole purpose of doing this. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, like and subscribe. And hopefully in the future, near future, hopefully I can get this stuff on the car. Things are starting to look up a little bit. hopefully that remains the same. So hopefully I can get back into this stuff a little bit more and show you guys more content. Another thing that we have going on, before I let you guys go, you guys might not realize what this is or recognize what this once was. But this is what a drive shaft looks like when it comes out of the car at about 100 mile an hour. I watched this thing fly through the air, probably about 10 feet into the air out from under the car. This is out of the 49 Ford that I got. For those of you who don't know, I still have the car. I don't plan on getting rid of it. My son likes it way too much. So now we got this going in it, which just isn't nothing special. It's just another stock drive shaft. Got a nice new U-joint in it. Had to clean this yoke up a little bit on the edge right here. However, I shortened this up. This drive shaft was, I think, 56 inches long, or 56 and a half. It's on here somewhere. Yeah, 56 and a half. You can still see it through the paint, the writing. Now you guys can't really see it, but again, my buddy Matt gave me this drive shaft. It was one he had laying around the shop. He said, take whatever ones aren't marked, because if you want. So I took this, and he gave me the courage to shorten it myself. Because all you do is you cut it at the weld, and you know they're flanged, which I knew that they are, but you can just pop it in, and you take a piece of paper, wrap it around it, and make sure that the edges meet, and chop it. You use a bandsaw, maybe have somebody spin it for you as you do it, you know. But however, I didn't have that privilege. I just did it by myself. I did do the paper trick he taught me, which is pretty cool. Take a piece of paper and you just wrap it around and make the edges together because paper is square. Now I use the chop saw. My son supervised as I did it. And then I popped the flange in on this side here. It's a little ugly. Welds are a little thick. But popped the flange in, made sure it was tight the best I could. Tacked it up in star pattern, and then I stitched it and put it together, and hopefully it holds. I got a car show that I want to go to in November. All of us are trying to make it at Monty. It's my buddy Alex's car. We're trying to make it with that. Matt's trying to go. My buddy Kyle's trying to go. So we're all trying to go to the car show in November. So that's the 1st of November. Hopefully we can all make it to that together. It'd be a nice time. And I'm waiting on this U-joint. That's why it's not together yet. Hopefully U-joint will be here. Said Tuesday. I paid extra for it to be here on Tuesday. World's most expensive U-joint for this. The 49 Ford has a special joint that it uses. And I'll tell you, learning a lot with this stuff. It is definitely a learning curve. Let's see if I can show you guys this real quick, because this is something, probably should have made this a second video, but usually the people that watch me are followers anyway. So looks like your average U-joint. It's tiny, but this is how it bolts to the rear, and this is gutted. I took all the needle bearings out because I was going to try to drill this and make it fit a different U-joint, but the caps actually bolt onto the rear, so they go on the U-joint as you would expect, and then it bolts on through the flange this way. So your flange would be here, and it would be bolted up like that. This was on the rear. That's how I have this, out of that twisted piece of metal that you've seen. This was still on the rear. Thank God it was still on the rear, because if it was not, I wouldn't have the slightest idea probably of what I need. But after seeing this, now I know what a 49 Ford, I think it's 49 to 59, car and truck, I believe. That's the style U-joint it takes. This is like an $80 U-joint if you're not in a rush for it. The one I ordered ended up being like 110, and then like another 20 or something with shipping and tax, and ended up being like 140. And then with the other, that U-joint that you just seen on the blue drive shaft, ended up being upwards of almost $200, like 180, 160, $80, somewhere around there. Ridiculous. So that's getting together. Hopefully I'll be together next week as well. I'm going to try to do drive shaft. I'm going to try to get the suspension in the car. And then I got some other plans for the Mustang. I got plans for everything, but sometimes they don't work out. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get this stuff together, have some fun next year. This year beat me up pretty good. Still not out of what I'm in, but things are on the up. So hopefully soon I'll be out of the rut that I was in, and start getting life back on track a little bit and doing what I like to do again. The important part is now that I get to see my kid. So that's the main thing that matters. Alright, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Again, stay tuned. Sorry these videos are coming out so widespread, but I'm trying. So, thanks again for watching. And catch you guys on the next one. Like and subscribe. See you later.